Blog Talk Radio.
Well, the people writing my intro music hard at work today. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are in week number 2 of what I hope is going to be an ongoing series which will promote entrepreneurs of all sorts, but also bring to the forefront all kinds of interesting people that are definitely worth hearing from, all kinds of viewpoints, all kinds of interesting stories, because every business tells a story, as they say. Okay, so this is our second installment, and of course, I guess our first one kind of had to do with fashion. We had a wonderful interview with Cindy Massari. We are going to sort of change gears a little bit this week. We're going to be talking to someone who I've known for a number of years. She sort of moved from one field of entrepreneurship to another. That is often terrifying for a lot of people. I know to me it is, certainly, and to other people I talk to who don't dare leave their little 5x5 square foot plot of intellectual land, it can be the same. But we're going to hear tonight from the wonderful Anny Abreu. She moved from a career in law and created her own organization. And the organization pertains to a field which I guess many of us hear about, but we often don't have the proper definition for it. That's one of the things I want to hear from tonight. And, well, let's just get it going and bring her on. Anny, welcome to the stage. How are you tonight?
Thank you very much. I am doing wonderful. Really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me in your show that I know is going to take the world by storm, because you are an amazing guy. So an amazing people create only amazing stuff.
Oh, well, that's amazing to hear, because sometimes I don't have, like many other people, I don't have faith in the moment in what I'm doing, but you know what, just hearing that helps me a little bit too.
Well, good. I'm happy, and then I am the perfect guest to have here to tell you that the fact that you have a show is already a clear indication that you're moving into the right path. Even though you might say, I do not know, whatever might be the case, but you do have a show, and you are moving regardless of the doubts that you have. Isn't it true?
Exactly. Yes. It may not be, sort of, it's not like I'm opening my own business yet, but at least I'm taking that step and saying, here's something I've always been told. Over the years, people have told me, hey, you got a great voice.
Yes,
and I never did anything about it. Oh, thank you. And actually, you have a great demeanor. So actually, maybe you were kind of going through the same thing, like all through the years. Well, why don't you tell me? I mean, first of all, your background's in law.
Yes,
so,
I am an attorney. I graduated from Duke Law, and it was a wonderful, amazing journey. My intellectual side of life was enriched and expanded. I couldn't be more happy for the experience that the law brought to my life. But that was not where my passion was resting, really. I fought with my passion over the years because I was ashamed of it. I did not want to admit to myself that I am not an attorney. I am not. What I am is an uplifter. I am an uplifter. I love seeing people thrive on finding their dreams through any guidance that I may provide through my passion. I am passionate about bringing into the forefront of people's mind their potential and their ability to become their best. And we have done that through Finding Your Voice, which is the company that I, together with other 3 amazing, phenomenal ladies, I have co-created. Wendy Loayza, which is here. At some point, we are going to bring her in. Cintia de la Cruz and Lindsey Sherwin. We are committed to make this world a better one. There's nothing wrong with the world we are in. We just want to have a lot of fun in the process of showing people that they can do all they dream to do if they choose to.
Now, I think the advantage was, I guess, as a lawyer, you still had to sort of be familiar or experienced in sort of dealing with people on a one-on-one basis, interacting with them, reading between the lines. So you kind of had the first, the initial seeds of it were already there, probably.
Yes, although it was also, I think the law training served me, enhanced my natural ability to read between the lines and all of that. But there is not a substitute for love and passion. You can have all of the training of the world. You can be intellectually the greatest scientific in the world, and if you're not connected to the source of all, where you can withdraw everything that you need to become everything that you want, it will be irrelevant how much knowledge you have accumulated. So even though it was a platform that did serve me, it was not necessarily it was not the catalyst to move into the direction of life coaching or helping people to find their dream.
Okay. Now, but staying on that vein now, what specifically for you and maybe a little bit for the others, why are you particularly concerned with happiness? What makes you sort of...
Yes, that's an awesome question because even though I remember when I was applying to the different universities to be admitted, and I was thrilled to hear that I was admitted into Duke, and I thought, oh my God, once I graduate from Duke, I will be just the happiest person in the world. And so I dived into my law journey, believing that I would find happiness after I graduate.
Okay.
The day of my graduation was a little bit of a wake-up call because I was rather exhausted, disappointed, and kind of lost emotionally. And even though it did improve a little bit, it was not much. So I was almost, over the years, I was internally inclined to ask myself, what is it that I really want to do? What would make me happy? And usually I would say, well, I really like to talk to people. Indeed, my clients, I usually gave them more emotional advice than legal advice, in my opinion, because I was concerned with how they reacted towards the legal problem, and how they reacted internally did affect the file for me. So I understood that energetically I needed to bring people into a place of understanding that there was a solution and that I could do it for them. Otherwise, I would not take the client. So my own search for happiness took me into this direction.
Right. It's funny that you mentioned school. I remember I had that same feeling at graduation, even though I had a job lined up. Yeah, I felt the same. I had a job lined up, and I was like, okay, but now what? Job's great and all, but what other things am I going to do in the future? And I remember a professor. I have it narrowed down to 2. He said something to the effect of, engineering's a very harsh discipline. It's it's often not fun. He said something to the effect of, yeah, you can get really good at this stuff. I mean, he used the word stuff. He used another word I can't say. But I don't know if you can ever, he said, but I don't know if you can ever really love it or love doing it. And I must say, as it did for both of us over the years, sometimes you just can't live on law or engineering alone.
Yes. No, well, I am to the point where if I have to make money practicing law, and then I really do not want any money because it's meaningless to me at this point. My life only has a meaning when I am helping people to find the direction of their dreams, and I have accomplished that with myself in the sense that I went inside of me and I asked a lot of hard questions, and I answered them all in a very honest way. And over the years, I self-coached myself in a way that I brought myself from misery to happiness. And eventually reach a place of complete peace and understanding that love is the foundation of everything. And not only I have done that, I also, through this journey, cured myself from a tumor in my head, which is probably one of the greatest achievements that this type of work can give you, not only emotional healing, but physical healing. Emotions governs our life, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yes.
And the repercussions of admitting and working with your emotions will show not only emotionally, but physically eventually.
I mean, I think most of us are even scared to just touch upon our emotions. I mean, we delude ourselves. You know, we mistake love for other things. I don't think a lot of people dive in.
Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of the time, I think people are A, afraid, or B, think it's sort of out of their reach to even attempt. Afraid of what they might find. I think they're afraid of what they might find.
But you know, precisely, what about if you find a lot of good stuff? What about if you find that love is actually very rewarding? Love is, you know, I mean, there is so much that we are denying ourselves under the pretenses that we might find something that we do not like.
Right, but I think people just I see in a lot of people they look at their own consciousness. I mean, that's what that's kind of the substance of what we're dealing with, consciousness. Or is that really what self-awareness is? The exploration of our conscious. Just define it, like as you see it.
Self-awareness is the practice of looking at yourself and loving yourself, and the practice of looking at yourself. It's a loving consciousness, self-consciousness.
Okay.
You look at yourself, and how does that work at the practical level? Let's talk about that.
Let's.
Self-awareness practitioners, what is that about? Let's say, for example, one of the people that I have coached had a big issue with worthiness. She did not feel worthy about herself. And that came through a boyfriend that she had that was not giving her the treatment and the attention that she deserved, that she understood that she deserved. Intellectually, we know that we are valuable people. But at the practical level, we tend to surrender to anyone who tell us that we are beautiful or we are intelligent, because we have not learned to lovingly teach ourselves that we are that. We are smart. We are beautiful people. We are amazing individuals. We are light. But we do not say these things to ourselves. So the fact that we do not feed ourselves properly leaves us at the mercy of anyone who comes along and tells us that we are beautiful. So women tend to give themselves out to someone who may not appreciate them fully, and this particular client was in that predicament. And, and she came along, and we started talking, and I explained to her that it was not that the guy was not appreciating her, it was that she was not fully aware of who she was, and that she was not appreciating herself, and that the guy showed up as an indication of where she was, meaning she did not feel she did not feel worthy, so she attracted someone who would give her that type of treatment to serve as a mirror of where she was. So as a self-awareness practitioners, we are on the lookout 24/7 into the understanding that we create our reality, that whatever we have in front of us, we have attracted it. And we never blame the messenger that we have in front of us. We never blame what the universe has brought us to in front of us. We know there is a vibration within us that we have cultivated over the years, consciously or unconsciously, and we are unaware of this. And these emotions that we have cultivated in an unconscious way are controlling our life.
That's fact. You put a lot of what you just said, I sort of intuitively knew already, but you put it together so well, how other people can sort of be the mirrors or the messengers, I think you said, of what you have going on in your head, the interactions that you encounter day by day.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
Really right. And something really interesting about that is self-awareness, finding your voice, is ready to eliminate the victim mentality, because we are not victims. We are creators. We own the world. We own it. We have been told by our parents, by our friends, by whoever we decided was important in our lives, that whatever they said was what we were. Well, here I am. I am the co-founder of Finding Your Voice, and I am here to tell you that anything that does not feel good is a lie.
Okay.
And you are worthy, and everybody is worthy, so...
Okay, that's a little fascinating. We'll talk about that a little more too. Now we're going to bring a person, I believe, that you have coached, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes. Momentarily. But I just I have found on the site known as Goodreads.com, which is sort of an author book site. I purposely earlier, just to get a little familiarity, put in self-awareness quotes. Give me a list of quotes about self-awareness. And there's some fascinating stuff here. And I think this one kind of touches a little bit on what you had just said. I always used to hear that thing, somebody, I forget, one of my uncles or somebody used to say, before you can love someone else, you have to learn how to love, period. But this one is kind of similar, and this is from Ayn Rand. To say I love you, first you have to first know the I. So a little bit, odd and to the point, but it's true. Before you can even endow such another great emotion on someone, you have to know yourself first.
Yes.
And I think that touches a lot on what you just said. But I would like to now, if it's okay with you, bring in our second guest, who will be joining Anny. And,
yes, let me introduce her, because I'm too excited about that. Please.
Me too. Okay.
I had the privilege of meeting Wendy Loayza around 2 years ago. She's now the co-founder of Finding Your Voice. And Wendy, we have nicknamed Wendy as Wendy Love, because this woman is a pure fire of love and is here to change the life of a lot of people. I am so proud, so proud to introduce to you one of my greatest friends and amazing people that I ever known, Wendy Loayza.
Welcome aboard, Wendy.
Beautiful introduction.
I know she does that so well, so we got to give her a show now.
You're so funny. No, I want to thank you for having us on the show. We're so excited about the Cements journey. I'm actually really excited about your journey that you're starting off. It's fantastic already, just listening and interacting with you guys. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Wendy. Well, how did the two of you connect at the beginning? Creating, finding your voice.
It was. I have to say it's like love at first sight.
Yeah.
But as you guys were speaking of, you tend to attract what you're looking for, or what you're seeking, or asking the universe for. And when I met Annie, I was honestly in a very dark place.
Okay.
For myself.
Spiritually.
I always knew. Spiritually, I think just kind of lost. A little lost in the world, asking a lot of questions and wanting more. So I was at that point, kind of at that breaking point where I was like, that's it. Like I need something. I know there's more to life than what I'm living now. And on the outside, I was a happy being. Everybody knew me as smiles and joy and happiness and fun. But internally, I was dying. And nobody knew that but me. So I guess through my own desire to live, to be more, to find myself, I was constantly asking those questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What's the point of this? Are we here to suffer? And inside you kind of know that, no, it's not. It's not that. You're not here to suffer. We're here to live. We're here to love.
Right.
But I was in this victim mode, like Annie said. We're here to demolish that completely because there's no longer the need for that. And we tend to, through the teachers and life and our parents and experiences and the hurt and the pain that we go through growing up, we think, we kind of put ourselves in this victim, mentality, and we stay there. With, through fear, we don't know how to turn to love, or we don't know how to get ourselves out, or if we do have maybe a notion of how to get out, but do we have the strength to do it ourselves? So when I met Annie, it was like, I swear, seeing the light. It was just true love. It was like you fell in love with someone because of the being, because you saw the light in her that I desired within myself. And
yes, I've seen that too, I have to say.
I have to, I honestly, I want to thank you, Annie, for all the love, the support, the coaching, the fun, the journey, just the inspiration that you have been to me as an individual, just by loving me and just showing me who you are so that I can be who I was. So she kind of helped me break through that victim mentality and really see myself, put myself into perspective of who I am and that I am a powerful being and that I can take over the world if I want to.
Woo-hoo!
But how...
Yes.
How willing am I to do that? Because of all the fear that we grow to learn. So what we're teaching here is unlearn all of that. Get rid of the garbage within yourself. Yes, and teach
that is a good
yourself.
Term.
It is, but that's what it is. We've got to unlearn all the fear that we have been taught and turn it into love. And the only way you can do that is by self-reflecting, becoming self-aware, becoming self-conscious, and evaluating who you are and your emotions and why do I feel this way and why is this happening to me. You know what? I'm not a victim. I can't point my finger to you because if I do, I might as well point it right back at me. I've created this particular moment or obstacle or whatever situation it might be. I must have created it somehow. Okay, so if there's no more victim mode and there's no one to blame, then what do? I'm not going to torture myself either, because that's what we do through fear.
Right.
We've been taught to then, dig your hole deeper, and when we get depressed and all, this is where the world has been going, and then you get stressed, and then you get physically sick. I got to the point when I met Annie, I'm telling you, it's amazing. I got to the point where I almost died.
Really?
And
now, let's just clarify, Wendy. When you say that, did you mean that you were seriously thinking of doing something bad to yourself, or that you just were kind of withdrawing from your personal relationships with others?
I'll tell you. I had, traumatic, you could say, childhood, and I grew up with a lot of these fears. So as I was developing, not really knowing who I was, but kind of sort of knowing who I was hurting. So I felt like, sometimes I had the thoughts of hurting myself. Definitely. You could definitely put me in that category. Before I met Annie, I felt like I was exploding within. And guess what happened? Physically, I created that. I ended up in the hospital, about to die, and I was literally, my organs were exploding. So if you come to think of it, I would say it constantly. Oh my God, I feel like I'm about to explode. Oh my God, I feel like I'm about to explode, because I couldn't take it anymore. And literally, I created a physical condition in where my organs were exploding.
Wow.
Amazing. So
it's frightening, actually, what the mind can do to the body.
It really is. Oh, my goodness. But what a beautiful thing. So now I look at it as, if I get sick, I'm like, wow, thank you. It is an indication of where I am. What do I need to do? Chill out. Relax. Be good to me. Love me a little. Pamper me a little. Go within. Connect to who I am, the source within, the light within, that is pure, that is beautiful, that has no disease. I am fully healed to this day. Thank you, Annie, for showing me the way, for showing me the light.
Right. No. Thank yourself. We do not do it for people. We are just here to point the way for those who are ready to listen. We know, because we have experienced that. We can stand in the place of light and say there is light, and you can go into your own light and become that. But I did not do it for Wendy. Wendy was a perfect student, because she has come to a place where she was asking, and the universe provided me to come into her presence, and I was the one blessed with having come in contact with her. So I did not do it for her. She did it for herself.
Well, it was kind of a mutual blessing for the both of you, because you started a great organization as well.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me. So when we appreciate, I do not focus on what I brought to the table for her. I am focusing on what she brought to the table for me, and I am eternally grateful for that. And so that's the only reason why we do it that way. Yes, it might have been a blessing for both of us, but the only thing that I can see is the blessing that she was for me.
Right. I like what you. Yeah, I feel bad because the way you guys met was so beautifully dramatic and like self-fulfilling and all, and I have to unfortunately say that Annie and I first met at a bar, which is very anticlimactic. That kind of sucks. And the bar's not even open anymore.
No, that's fun. That's fun.
There were other people present. I wasn't picking her up. There was like 8 other people there. So.
Oh my God! Stop it!
But look,
great.
It worked out. It worked out good.
Stop saying that. Awesome. The bar was perfect. Everything that we go through is perfect.
That's right. It was always fun, and it was always fulfilling, to use a good phrase. I really liked that word earlier, unlearn, because people, there is another website, I forget, it's kind of one of the libertarian websites that has a similar term, unschooling, and, people always try to deride the terms. Why would you want to unschool your kid? It's basically, it's not like you're depriving the person of knowledge, you're just trying to, kind of as you said before, eliminate the mal influences, the negative and the useless influences and replace them with good things, with productive things. Now, where do you find...
So many unlimiting beliefs out there.
Right. Where do you... I mean, for each of you can answer. Where do you sort of find those replacement things, those more fulfilling, the parcels of knowledge in your head that make you more fulfilled? Where do each of you sort of search for that? And it could be something mundane. It could be that, or it could just be, something theoretical. But what?
Oh, you mean what are the things that we can do to find happiness or to feel better? Is that?
That precisely. I mean, for each of you personally, and maybe there's something general for all of us. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am writing a book called From Fear to Love, and it addresses my personal journey to cure myself from a tumor in my head. And in order for me to allow the body to find the peace and the fulfillment necessary to pull and experience health, I had to learn to meditate. And meditation is a very a lot of people talk about meditation. Meditation is a very easy thing to do. It's not what most people think it is. Meditation, as I understand it, you can pick an image, any image that would make you happy for 2 or 3 seconds. You don't have to hold it for 15 seconds, 15 minutes. Pick an image that would relax you and try to sustain it as much as you can. And that's meditation.
Okay. In other words, no real magic to speak of. You can just really sort of the layperson can do it.
Hold on. There is a lot of magic in meditation, and there is a lot of stuff in there. We need to learn to cultivate that. We need to learn to appreciate. We need to unlearn how to think, because our mind is filled with a lot of useless thoughts that do not allow for the energy that we are to focus on the direction of feeling good.
Okay, I think I see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even more. Oh, by the way, I have a woohoo. For you guys.
Oh yeah, woohoo.
That's Homer Simpson. That's Homer Simpson.
Okay.
If you need another one, I can always provide it. But that's very basic now, unlearning the way we think. Now that goes even more to the core.
Yeah.
So expound on that. What? How should we think? You there?
I could just say what worked for me was anything that felt good, that gave me relief. A lot of times we live in this world where we please people too much, and we forget to tend to ourselves. So at the moment when you start to say, okay, wait, I don't want to do this, why should I? Let me do something that feels good for me. Okay, what am I going to do at this moment? What feels right? Should I go out of my way to do this? No, because it's stressing me. Okay, should I just sit on the couch and relax for a minute? Yes. Does it feel good? Even if it's for 2 seconds, to give myself permission to just be who I am? Totally. And that's how it starts. Because it's allowing yourself to feel good, allowing yourself to not do anything because of a need or someone wants you to, or you think it's a responsibility. Your responsibility to yourself is to be good to you. So what's going to feel better at this moment? And you make the conscious choice. Should I go to this party that's 2 hours away and drive myself nuts? I don't really want to do that. So what would make you feel good? Let me go take a bath. Let me go read a book. Let me go write my book. Let me just go to sleep. Being in a non-resistant mode to me,
right,
to you.
In other words, doing something because you want to rather than have to. I mean, on its most basic level. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts. I guess you sort of, later on, you get sort of faced with that choice can sometimes be tougher. It's kind of like, someone in a more higher position. Do I go in and make $2,000 today doing something, doing an extra case or doing a live performance, or do I just relax at home with the kids, or do I just go play and go bike ride today? So sometimes the choice gets a little more tempting to do the stressful thing.
Correct.
Well, may I interrupt at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well,
sure.
Choices. We have a lot of choices. We always have the ability to learn to look at what we have in a different manner.
Right.
Let's say you have the responsibility of going to work every day, and you have to be there every day. So instead of resisting work, blend with work. And instead of saying, my work sucks and I can stand it, you can say, this job does bring income into my family and I can provide for them. And this job, it does allow me to come into a place where I can interact with people that are at the same intellectual level that I am. A lot of people do not have a job, and I do have one. It is about, you see, we are creative beings, but we hear everybody complaining about their jobs, and then we follow through that path. We have the ability to recreate the way we see our present situation.
Right. All right. Well, that is indeed another way to look at it. Yeah. In other words, take the mediocre situation and try to, I don't want to say bend it, but try to make something more fulfilling out of it, essentially.
Well, it is fulfilling. You see, the reality is that life is not good or bad. Life is, you see, at any given moment, you are going to have a situation that can potentially be good or potentially be bad. And it's all about how you approach it. I can say the fact that you invited me to your show can be a very threatening experience for someone who has never been in the radio, right? Or I can be excited and blessed for the opportunity to interact with people that I would only reach this way. And it's always about how you channel the energy. You see, we are energetic beings, and that energy can go into feeling fear very powerfully or feeling love very powerfully.
Yeah.
And the deviation that you make is going to make the difference in the quality of your life.
Okay. That is much to think about, but it's correct. It's definitely correct. Actually, this is kind of something we touched on before. Before we get into that, is there something perhaps, we're talking a lot about directions and finding ourselves, is there something, maybe an exercise or perhaps something we can sort of share with our listening audience that may be a step-by-step thing where they can find some alignment or some direction in their life?
Yes, I do, actually. And I am going to say that this particular exercise is not originally from me, but I found it to be extremely powerful when I practiced it myself. So I want to share that with all of you. I would
Excellent.
like to, let me ask you, Anthony, what is the person that you admire the most, dead or alive?
Ooh, that's a good one. Wow, so many. Let's see. boy, we can go through history or family. All right, let's just say, let's keep it to family here. Let's just say my father.
Your father. And why did you admire your father so much?
Because he always protected me. He, he stood up for me when, sometimes when I was picked on and when times were tough. And, quite frankly, just to be honest, my mom was not always the greatest person to deal with, so he kind of buffered that whole situation with me. And he took me to work and school when I was young many times when I didn't have a car yet. So he's one that I owe much gratitude to.
Okay, gratitude. So gratitude because you felt protected and he take care of you. He gave you that sense of security that we so much crave for as human beings. Okay. So
sure.
What I'm going to ask you to do now, if you would be so kind, is to think, to close your eyes. Everybody, I hope that everybody has picked someone that they have admired right now, and close their eyes and think about that person, what that person represents. In your particular case, Anthony, the person represents, your father represents security and protection, and that makes you feel secure. So I would like you to close your eyes and feel the feeling of secure, feeling that your father is within you, as if he has come onto you, energetically speaking, and his energy is protecting you and is making you feel secure. So let's do that for a second, Anthony. I'm
listening.
Okay, so can you feel that for a second? The fact that you focus on the image of your father, how amazingly he made you feel secured, protected, loved, and
I got it.
You got it. Okay. All right. So, you see, that feeling of protection, love, and secured that your father made you feel can be invoked by you at any time.
Now, just let me say that I'm kind of relegating to sort of like some individual experiences back when to sort of recapture that.
It doesn't make a difference. For example, I admire Oprah Winfrey because of the unlimited resources that she has available and how she has impacted the community in such a positive way, and that's something that I really admire and I wish to give away. So in order for me to give that away to everybody else, I need to feel that myself, and I take the image of Oprah and what she represents, which is unlimited resources and well-being, healing. That's how I see her. She projects healing. She projects well-being. She has all of these resources to be able to have a greater impact in the community. So I take what she represents, all of that, healing, well-being, unlimited resources, and I feel that within me. And then as I am feeling that, I project that into the world. I feel that how that feeling of healing and well-being, it is projected outside of me, and that way I am right now giving out something that I want to give out. I am ready to give something out to the world right now with my intention to make them feel better, to give healing, and to have resources to help people. And with this little energetic exercise, you can right now practice the potential of what you want to become. If you want to become someone secure the way your father made you feel, and then you feel that, and you send that out onto the world. And as you send that out, you become that, and you will attract that. And it has been working out for me phenomenally.
Excellent. It's sort of like emulation. If you see somebody whose traits you want to emulate, I mean, you can sort of channel them, and then you have to hope that you can attract people with similar interests, with similar desires as well. That's a good way to think.
Yes.
What about you, Wendy? Any one that you can sort of, for this exercise, who would you sort of point to in this particular exercise?
I can pick Annie. She emanated so much love. She represented a lot of love for me, which was the love I didn't have for myself. You see, so in tune, when I reflected on the love that she gave out to the world unconditionally, I started to become that. And like she says, when I learned how to feel, because the point here is to feel. See, we can think of, I want to be loved, or I want to be secure. But if you don't learn to consciously feel the emotion within your body, that's the key. It takes over. It becomes something new. It becomes another world. It transforms your world, and then you transform. So for me, it was also gratitude. You know, I was in that victim mode, and how did I get out? So I started, instead of pointing fingers or blaming me, I started to, you know what? I have so much to be grateful for, so much to appreciate. Let me take a moment, instead of neglecting what's happening here, let me find the blessing in it. And through that, gratefulness and just the appreciation for life, for breathing, the simple things, the joys. Look at the sky. What a manifestation. Amazing. You know, you wake up to this beautiful, amazing world every day, which we can be reborn. Forget yesterday. Forget tomorrow. Live in the present. And I think that gratefulness, appreciation, and living in the now, my present moment, is the greatest gift I can give and deliver to myself. And as I deliver that gift to me, I deliver the same to the world.
All right. Well, very well said, right, Annie?
Oh, my goodness. I love her. You know, again, I'm in love. She is now my guy. She guides me now and so many other things, because one of the greatest things that Finding Your Voice does is that we are not looking to create people to follow us. We are looking to wake up the giant within you, to wake up the power that each one of us are holding unequivocally. And we know we can do that because we have done it with so many other people. We are not looking for people to follow us. We want them to follow themselves and to know that they can achieve anything they want. So Wendy is that. Wendy became the power that she is, and she doesn't need to follow anyone. She gives recognition to me because that makes her feel good. That's how selfish she is. God bless her.
Yes, indeed. I could just, the happiness is leaking right through the microphone. I can sense it here, too. The positivity and the happiness. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's become a way of life.
Right.
And this is what I want to tell people, and no matter where you are, no matter how deep you think you have gone, there's a way out.
Right.
And it starts with you. Make the conscious choice. It's a decision you make every day, every moment. We have the will to choose. Do I want to feel fearful? Do I want to feel bad? If you do, fine. No problem. Get mad a couple minutes, but let it go. Move on. Find a feeling that feels good, that doesn't hurt, that doesn't resist who you are. Become that loving being. Find something to be grateful for.
Right.
And then you find the joy of life. In every moment, there's a blessing. So
there is.
Yeah.
We don't see it often, but there is.
Yeah.
And we want to say also that we have a phenomenal religion in Finding Your Voice. We religiously follow love.
Mm-hmm.
That's our religion. We really love to follow love.
Which is fair enough. It's universal.
Amen.
Yes.
There's no
separation. So you consider it in many ways. It's kind of like your religion as well as your advocation.
Yes.
There's no separation. There's, we're not separated from God or from our life or from love or from anything. All of that is within you,
Right.
And when we learn to, I get religion and all that stuff, and trust me, we've been there, and that could be another show. But
oh yeah, I could definitely do another show on that. Believe me.
Oh my God, yeah. But you know what? It just tends to be let go of all the self-limiting beliefs, whether it's been taught to you before, or you learned them yourself, or it was a religious whatever. Just go back to what feels good. Know that God is within you, and you are an unlimited being, full of light and love. And you're meant to enjoy life. We're not here to suffer, people. We're here to live. We're here to have fun. We're here to be joyful. We're here to play.
Yes.
Like Annie's favorite word was fun.
Woo-hoo.
Fun. There's so much in fun. So
that's right.
That's what it's all about. That's where the woohoo comes from.
Oh my God, that is so cool. We are so excited with all this.
I got lots of good sound effects here, but I don't know if I could play half of them. But is this will be, I presume, now this is great because Annie will be the second author that I know once her book is released. Actually, the other author may be joining us in a few weeks, I hope, the wonderful horror writer, Hunter Shea, but I'll be so happy to have a second one. Actually, I know 3 others, but not as well. But will a lot of this be sort of the content for your book, Annie? Will it be more personal? Are you going to sort of talk about others? Will you talk about your own experience? What will be the framework from fear to love?
The first time, the book is going to include the first time I meditated, where my body went into a convulsion. I had an instant reaction after the first 7 seconds of meditation. I developed a rash. I couldn't breathe, and I was coughing and throwing a lot of green mucus through my nose. So it was a very traumatic experience. I thought that I was about to die. And so the book is going to be about, it's going to take you from that first experience of meditation, and it's going to walk you through what I internally went through, my fears, how I started asking myself the important questions. Who am I? Why I feel so bad? How can I feel a little bit better? What tricks did I use to bring me from fear to less fear? Because we cannot go from fear to love, but we can go from fear to less fear, little by little. And the accumulated practice of that will eventually and unequivocally bring you to love, to master it, to claim it unshakably, and you will become your own light, and everything that you do will be enjoyable, and you will know what you want, because that's all we are about in finding your voice. The book is also going to talk about my personal experience with my main beautiful, adorable girls, Wendy Loayza, and how she impacted me, all of the things that looking at her did for me, and also Cintia de la Cruz. Cintia de la Cruz has been my friend for many, many, many years, and recently we spent 1 month together alone in the Dominican Republic in a paradise apartment in front of the beach, and we also had amazing revelations there. That's going to be in the book. Lindsey,
wow.
Sherwin, yes, oh my God, Cintia de la Cruz lost near 20 pounds, more than 20 pounds in less than a month after she dropped out limiting beliefs, after she realized that the way she was thinking and the way she was holding into a perspective was actually hindering his ability to lose weight. And that's among the few things that she accomplished there. I personally had my own breakthroughs over there as well. We cannot approach anyone in this business and not be benefited by them. So we are at this point in an exchange of incredible healing energy among the four of us that I cannot be more blessed for. Also,
right.
Lindsey Sherwin is is the youngest in the group, and Lindsey went from. I do not want to speak for Lindsey; she's not here, but she, in several occasions, have defined her journey from going to chaotic and neurotic to confident and powerful, using her own words. Lindsey is now a model, an actress, and she has her own company, which is a branch of Finding Your Voice, Did the Shift.
Wow.
Lindsey was graduated from one of the top universities in Europe, and so she's highly educated, extremely beautiful, and now powerful and confident, all through Finding Your Voice. So all of that is going to be in the book, how people can find their own voice, how can people self-coach themselves into happiness.
Well, we definitely, I know Cintia's listening because she commented a little on Facebook. So, of course,
yes.
Cintia or Lindsey, if you're there, you're welcome to call in. We can run a few minutes late if that's okay with Annie and with Wendy. Yeah, we'll run a little over. Like I said, that's why I block out 90. And, obviously anyone who's listening live, if you'd like to call in, we welcome your call. But let's touch on one of those things. You mentioned, weight loss. In the case of Cintia, it's kind of I'm on that goal right now, too. I've dropped a few pounds. I'm now sort of hovering around that magical point where you keep going up and down, but hopefully that the holidays are over, I'll be going back down. But do you find that that's something that is sort of enhanced or a common goal among the people that you've coached? And has it been successful for them?
Yes. It is not the same problem for everybody. But usually what we have observed is that people who are overweight and are sick, we create our reality. So our body is giving us the image of our thoughts. And sometimes that's difficult to swallow because we do want to say, I feel good about me. I do things, I find myself to be valuable. And all of that, it is probably true to an extent. So we need to find that extent and release it so you can become even more. That usually people are experiencing a self-limiting belief that they cannot experience. That's why the coaching and Finding Your Voice and the people of Finding Your Voice becomes so helpful because we have been there, we have done it, and we can come into your life and say, help you understand you. Not understand you because we cannot understand you, but we can poke around with you to you so we can teach you how to poke yourself and find the answer that you will make you feel better to move into the direction of where you want to go. So we are Finding Your Voice know that overweight can, or most of the time is, a reflection of limiting beliefs. And if we can shake what we believe about that, we definitely have a success in dropping the weight.
That is totally correct, and I have to say that I reached a point in my life. I'm actually 6 months pregnant at this point. Very excited.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
What do you think, Homer?
Happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm losing weight, which is kind of funny because when you become self-aware and you become self-conscious and you in a good way, and there was such a point where I became kind of obese because I was so filled with this fear and I didn't like who I saw in the mirror until I was able to look at that girl in the mirror, that reflection of me with eyes of love, and accept her as who she was. And love the little side rolls and the little double chin and all of that. that I started losing weight because I wasn't holding on to the image that I didn't like. You know, I don't like that girl in the mirror. So how am I gonna make a change? I started to love her. I started to love her for who she was. And in that, I lost 30 pounds before I got pregnant. You know,
wow.
I feel fantastic. I feel phenomenal. I feel beautiful. I feel youthful. I feel great. You know, so it's just such a change, and it really is how we look at ourselves. So I would say if anybody does want to lose weight, you know, start to look at yourself with eyes of love. Start to love who you are, no matter what. And you'll see the true image of you, the real you within you, come about. But it starts within.
Okay. Well, that's an angle I've never quite heard it approached from. But I guess, if nothing else, the positivity can certainly, the positivity will sort of work its way to your metabolism at some point and kind of help in that respect.
It's a little bit more than positive thinking. What we teach is structural changes in the body. The cells of the body you will feel the energy moving differently in your body, and your cells will change as a result of the drastic change of perspective and thinking. This is a lot more than wishing that you are thinking positively or any of that. This is about a real transformation that it takes place within you in such a powerful way that the cells of the body are dancing of happiness, and you can actually feel that as it takes place. So it's a lot more than positive, you know, thinking positively.
Okay. Did you find sort of that same mode there when you were healing from the tumor? Did you find that you had to? Go ahead. You know, that you sort of had to make a change to your physically modify yourself in terms of the tumor.
Well, no, this is the interesting part of all of this. You don't need to focus on healing because the body knows what to do. It's like you don't need to tell the eye, look at what is going on, because the eye was meant to look around. So the eye is going to look. The ears are going to hear. You do not tell the ear, now hear this. They do what they do because that's what they meant to do. So the same way, the cells of the body, they are meant to thrive. They are meant to be happy. They are meant to get together and make blood cells and just have a happy floating cell party inside of us. But we do not let them with this is what's going on here. We are energy. The body is energy.
I think we're losing Annie a little bit.
Are
you still there, Wendy?
I'm still here.
Annie, are you back? Okay, Wendy's there. Yeah, I think Annie's dropping out. It might be a bad cell connection or something, but let's see. Let's give her a second.
I am here.
Okay, yeah, you were dropping out a little bit. I'm not sure. Are you on a cell phone or?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I think, I just want to say for what Annie, I think, is trying to say here is that our body is whole and it knows what to do. Once we focus on our body and our well-being, we become total well-being. So just the image of love will transform anyone. And I know it sounds crazy, but it has been scientifically proven. So even through Annie's, self-healing, I mean, this is huge, people. This is a woman who had a tumor half the size of her head. I mean, she doesn't give herself enough credit for this, and I have to, tell the tale, loss of hearing. So we self-create all these physical conditions in our body, and our body is meant to regenerate. Our cells can actually regenerate. Our DNA can change. It all starts with looking within yourself. And it's as simple as becoming a happy being. And your cells change. Stress level decreases. When stress level decreases, you become healthier. Things within your body that are probably not functioning well, like I could say for myself, high blood pressure is gone.
Right.
Cintia de la Cruz, sugar, diabetes, she's healing. So all these things just because we're becoming love. We're focusing on becoming happy beings. So there is a way for the world to be what we are, which is total well-being, healthy people.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Like Wendy said, we do not need to focus on healing. We only need to focus on love. We do not need to focus on what is wrong. Because
you're back.
Hello?
Yep, no, you came back a little, so you're better now.
I am better now?
Yes.
Now you're perfect.
I am perfect. I am always perfect.
You have not only healed yourself, you have healed the phone connection. You are a true miracle worker.
I am telling you, everything is always working out for me. The universe supports me always. And because I always say that, it always does.
Well, put in a good word for me up there, too.
You are phenomenal, and you are you are on your way to become everything that you want.
Yeah. At times there are always doubts, like anyone else. But you know what? The first step, I guess, for instance, with me is enjoying what I'm doing, and I enjoy putting on this show and my Walking Dead show, and doing my bike riding and all. So that, I guess, that's the first step. But it does lend all of the stuff that we do, our hobbies, the things we love. I guess it really does contribute to a less stressful existence. It sounds trite at times, it sounds like a little, kind of, but no, it really does make a difference. I'm not just some guy doing the grind. No, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ann.
No, the intensity with which you approach your life. You see, we have heard all of these terms that we are using. They are common knowledge. What we are trying to say here is that we need to teach ourselves how to feel all of this. The feeling of all of this is the key to creating the powerful being that you are. Each one of us hold that power within, and it can be fed every day through self-love, through being good to you. How can you be good to you? You can, in the morning when you wake up, for example, you have record something to yourself that says that today is a wonderful day and you are ready to open your heart to the world and be the best you can be, and you're going to be grateful the entire day for being alive and breathing. Record something to that effect and hear it every day. Get up with an attitude of committing to feeling good to you because you deserve it, because you're alive. And even if you are not in the best emotional shape to do it, just do it and commit to you. And do that every day. Meditate every day. Do not judge yourself so much. If you look at yourself in the mirror and there is a couple of extra pounds there, look at you and say, I am here right now. These are the extra pounds that I have, and I am going to love me today with the extra pounds just for today. I'm going to feel good about those extra pounds. I'm going to put something that feels good, that makes me feel good, even though I have those extra pounds, and I am going to claim that I am beautiful. And just for today, and give yourself a break. And if you make a habit of each one of these things, I guarantee you by day 30, you are going to be a different person.
Yeah, that is definitely a nice way to look at it. I'm kind of comparing it to something that my trainer said to me one time. Now that we're on the subject of extra pounds, he said something to the effect of, like, there was, when I started out, there was like ripples of fat. There still is some. He goes, no, he pounded on the stomach. He goes, I feel some nice firm stomach muscles under there. He goes, once that fat goes away, you're going to see them a lot better. But they're always there.
Yeah.
So really at our core, we have all the good things in there. And I guess the fat is sometimes like the negatives, the fears, like Annie says, that sort of cloud it. But getting rid of the mental fat, if you will.
But at the same time, while you see, the approach with that is that you are thinking that there's something wrong with the fat. There's nothing wrong where we are. We are where we are. We need to take ourselves there and kiss ourselves and hug ourselves and celebrate ourselves and celebrate everything that we have done that got us there, even if it's not there, because what you're saying is, well, I do not feel good now because I want to be over there. I want to be slim. I want to have a nice looking body, which is not the body that I have now. But you do have a body right now, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. So regardless of the type of body that you may have, right now you have a lot of stuff. You breathe. You do have a body. You have hair. You have a mouth. You can eat. You can look. You can go out. You can walk. You can do so many other things. And if you focus on where you are and find the juice in the now, because it's finding the juice in the now that is going to carry you lovingly and nicely and funly, I just created a word, to the body that you dream. But you cannot pretend to go into the body of your dreams through suffering. If you decide to go to the gym, enjoy the gym. Enjoy the agility of your body. Enjoy that you can lift a leg. Enjoy what you're doing. Pamper yourself. Look at your eyes, whatever you have beautiful, and look at that and only talk about that. When people say that you're fat, let them know that your eyes are beautiful.
Oh.
Talk about the things that are good. People say, you're fat. They say, I know, thank you. My hair is beautiful. Anthony has beautiful hair, has beautiful eyes, has a beautiful voice, has a beautiful face. Always have had a beautiful face. A very tall man. So if I were Anthony and I was unhappy with extra weight, I would be like, oh, my God, I am the cutest, tallest man in the world. Do not even talk to me. I am handsome, man. And I will only talk about the good things about me, and I will not even address or acknowledge whatever people are saying or what I think people are saying about me, because many times we trick ourselves into thinking that people are thinking about us, and that is just many times just self-created illusion to trick ourselves into feeling bad.
I think that's definitely one of the prime roads to insecurity, in fact, and I know certain people close to me who fell victim to that and became very miserable people. So I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yes, and you can probably even say that they focused a little bit too much energy in staying and feeling that way. So it's where are we focusing our time and our energy? If we turn that and focus on ourselves and how we're feeling and what feels good, then we're on the right path. You kind of got to let your heart be your guide. And that's the way.
Right.
That's it. It really is.
Okay. All right. So I think we've touched on a lot of good stuff here, both inside and out. What do you think is next for your organization, for finding your voice, Annie, Wendy? What do you think? Well, first of all, where are you at now in terms of like the number of people, and are there any major milestones up ahead for the organization itself?
Did you want to answer that, Wendy?
Sure. I mean, we're just excited. We're at this excited point. We're just allowing the universe to kind of guide us and take us where we want to be. We just want to help. We just want to be of service. We want to be out there to touch as many lives as possible and just invoke this feeling of well-being in everyone that we come across. There's so much love within us right now, and that's really it. We have this immense desire and intention to heal the world and, get rid of the victimism. So there's so much good stuff coming up, which you guys will be hearing about, definitely.
Yes. Something else that we are up to. Finding Your Voice is now involved in the creation of a seminar that will be taking place in Argentina. From the 8th to the 18th, where we are going to provide a platform for 10 days to anybody who is willing to come on board and to teach them step by step or to share with them all the tricks that we have learned to help them to bring into alignment with whatever they want. And that is actually, we are putting that together right now with other 3 people located in Canada and London. This project is going international. We want to bring this to every single place we can think of. The numbers, a lot of people are benefiting from not only what the coaching we have done. We do this on a regular basis in the places that we work and the people we interact. That's also what we have been doing through Facebook, reaching people and impacting people. There are lots of people there who have found alignment and have found healing through some of the things that we have shared there. And our purpose is to help, just like Wendy said, and we are determined and enchanted by the whole world. We do not see the world as failing. We do not see the world as broken. We see the world as a magnificent place where that is ready for us to play in. And we are here to help you find out how would you like to play in this magnificent world. And hopefully many of the things that we have shared here will serve you to find that. If you're interested in the Argentinian seminar retreat, we will be happy to provide all the information. You can find me in Facebook, Anny Abreu, A, N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, Y, Abreu, A as in Apple, B as in boy, R-E-U, and I'll be happy to provide any information.
Excellent. Now, does Finding Your Voice have a website, or is it basically through you and your Facebook?
Yeah, well, it has its own Facebook page. We are working on the website because we have been so excited about doing this, talking to people and helping people, that we have fallen behind in the website creation and all that. But within a week or two, we should be up and running so people can find us and get the benefit of Finding Your Voice.
Excellent. I think everybody should look forward to that. Feel free to reach out to Anny or first to me, and then I can connect you with Anny on Facebook, and to Wendy as well. Let me make sure I got Wendy's name spelling right. Loayza?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
I could spell, yes. So to either one of those wonderful ladies, that would be awesome. And find out a little about Finding Your Voice, find out about what they do. This podcast is the second in our entrepreneur series, and Annie's certainly a unique entrepreneur, and that's what we've been looking to interview. And I think this was definitely wonderful. It was definitely wonderful because Homer didn't have to say the bad thing. We said a lot of woohoos, but we didn't say any. None of those. So the fact that there were no does means it was an awesome show.
All right.
So, and
I appreciate it.
Well, I tried to get Yeah, you guys are wonderful. I mean, you made the show, and we got deep within our heads. You know, this was sort of we weren't talking about outer space. We were talking about inner space,
yes,
which can be often
like
more fascinating. And we tried to get Cintia to call in. I wrote her on Facebook, but she didn't call in. But I'm sure she's listening. But this has been great. And, hopefully in the future, you ladies are always welcome to join me again. Maybe I'll be talking to author Anny Abreu in the near future, huh?
That's right. You bet. And also Wendy author. She's writing her own book, too.
Oh, yes.
Oh, excellent.
Giving birth to source.
Okay. I, too, am actually writing a book. It's going to be done in the year 2032, I think, at the rate I'm going. An autobiography. Yeah, going a little slow right now, but I'm not the greatest author, but this show will probably still be going on.
But, biography.
Maybe after hanging around with Finding Your Voice, that's going to be ready within a couple of months.
Yeah, you might speed me up. Who knows, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you. Go ahead, Anny.
You say goodbye. Before you say goodbye, I want to say that I want to thank you so much for having us in here. You have always been a phenomenal guy and with an amazing energy. And I am honored to have met you so many years ago and crossing paths with you now at this level is even more fulfilling and exciting. Thank you so much for being the great guy that you are. And I am looking forward to developing more stuff with you.
Well, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, Anny, one day soon, and I'm proud of the things you're doing. Proud of you and I being fellow Bronxites and getting so much done. Yeah. Well, I don't have any Bronx songs. We'll take this out with another song. So let's see. I got two choices here. We can take it out with a song, an instrumental called "Follow Your Bliss," which is actually by the B-52s, believe it or not. This is a song that nobody realizes that they wrote. It's their only instrumental. I was going to do the Magic Garden. Did anyone see the Magic Garden when they were younger?
I love that.
Yeah,
you did? Because I have that too. I have the goodbye theme from the Magic Garden.
That's awesome.
Oh, you know what? Here. You ladies are so awesome. We're going to do both. The Magic Garden thing will only be a minute, and then we'll go right into the. Well, we could talk over. Here's the Magic Garden. We'll talk over it. Ready? Remember this, Wendy?
So beautiful.
I had the chance to interview these two ladies like back in the Diana days, but it didn't happen. So I've reached out to them again, but they're very hard to get a hold of. They're still out there performing. Okay, we'll cut that. Okay, enough Magic Garden. But it was really awesome. Ladies, I appreciate it. We'll actually take it out with the B-52s now, and you're always welcome back here, and I wish you continued success.
You too. Thank you so much. We're honored.
Okay. So listening audience, those of you who are listening, I appreciate your listenership. Please reach out to Wendy and Anny, and Wendy and Anny, whoever, and their organization, which is Finding Your Voice. In the meantime, do what the song says and follow your bliss.